Being as how Plymouth has got a long maritime history of exploration and adventure, we decided that we wanted to create two maps to encapsulate our journey and everything that we've discovered en route. So we start with a map of Plymouth, which is way back in 2019, and it's got all of the information that we know about ourselves. So this then gives us the world of TRP as we understand it back then. And at that point, we thought we knew quite a lot. Now, the following 12 months onwards from here, we moved to 100% green energy tariff, and the scope 2 emissions, they drop right down. And then next we do major lighting upgrades in corridors with sensors in both of our buildings. And we also have a major refurbishment of one of our stages, focusing on energy saving technologies. And at this point, we think that we've done pretty well. But it's in the final year of the program that we embark on our data collection for our scope 3 emissions. And then this is where it takes us to the point where the map needs to be redrawn. So we start by collecting all of the emissions for one of our productions called The Parent Show. And it's a small production that runs only for a few days in our drum theatre. And there's posters in the little bus stops there advertising it. And that said, what we discover is a whopping 2 tons of CO2 just a result of that small production. So we then take that learning and attempt to apply it as much as possible to all of our spending. Now, in round numbers, we spend £10 million a year, and that's from wages to loo rolls and ice creams to actors. So some of the spending proves to be very difficult to categorise. Our 10 largest suppliers are visiting companies, so rather than fall deep into the rabbit hole of who owns what emissions, we chose to ignore some of these at this time. And we also ignore wages and their associated CO2. So that left us with £3.3 million of spending. So using the Pilio carbon calculator, we break this down by spend into all of the relevant categories. And we now have a new map of Theatre Royal Plymouth and all of its previously hidden emissions from their geographical locations. It really has been eye-opening to see all of this data come together, and we hope that this map's going to serve as one of our carbon literacy tools. There's still a lot to do. The current energy crisis has driven us off our renewables contract, unfortunately. But the map shows future plans to install solar panels on TR2 building, and this is going to give us far more electricity than we need, along with electric charge points. And we can also see a digger working in the area between the Theatre Royal and the council building next door. And this is because we're negotiating to connect to a new district heating scheme, removing our gas dependency at that site. Visiting companies are still going to be the biggest challenge to understand, but at least we've now got a roadmap to guide us in the right direction. And that's been our journey. Thank you.